Dunn, the gentleman from Florida. Dr. Dunn is an Army veteran and a surgeon and serves on the House Energy and Commerce Committee. He also testified at our Member Day hearing last Congress. Welcome back, Mr. Dunn.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. It's good to be with you. I look forward to supporting my colleagues on this committee while you work to renew the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that passed under the first Trump administration. As someone who was in Congress when we passed that TCJA in 2017, please consider me an ally to your efforts during this reconciliation year. In Florida's Panhandle, economic growth is driven by tourism, agriculture, defense, and a diverse array of small businesses. And small businesses in Florida rely on the full expensing tax provisions that allow 100% write-offs for investments made in the year that they are made. These provisions, along with other business-friendly incentives, are more crucial now than ever as Americans compete with Chinese companies to keep manufacturing and R&D in America. We should always prioritize American companies when innovation over Chinese competitors that are often beholden to the Chinese Communist Party. This is also why I've been a longtime supporter of reforming the de minimis threshold. I believe that lowering the threshold from the current risky level of $800 is a no-brainer and a substantial pay for the Ways and Means Committee can include for reconciliation. I was fully supportive of the Ways and Means Republican trade package that passed the committee last spring. In fact, you were gracious enough to let me include a bill in that package that prohibits China from participating in the general system of preferences on tariffs, reauthorization of which is way overdue. I also have a bill with my colleague, Representative Swazi, the Import Security and Fairness Act that eliminates China and Russia from receiving de minimis benefits. I believe this is important. This is a bipartisan solution to tackle the recent explosions in e-commerce packages that the de minimis provision allows to enter the United States, currently over 2 million packages per day. I want to emphasize this is a pay-for. Lastly, I want to highlight my tax bill that will catapult both our national security and global competitiveness in space. I wrote a bill called the Secure U.S. Leadership in Space Act that amends the IRS code to treat spaceports the same way we treat airports and seaports by allowing the spaceports to receive tax-exempt bonds. Airports and seaports are critical government investments that advance our economic interests and are currently eligible to receive tax-exempt bonds. Spaceports are equally important as we rely more and more on satellites, telecommunications, security operations, rocket launch protocols, and more. There are already 10 states that have active spaceports, and others are joining the club. We need more national investment, including tax incentives, if we want to remain a global leader in space. And my bill ensures that all spaceports in America are eligible to receive greater investment from the public, often used in the construction of airports and other infrastructure projects. Investments in space facilities will keep us competitive as adversaries such as China pour money into their space programs. Important work is conducted in this committee in the tax space, and I know Ways and Means will fulfill its charge to deliver relief and growth to the American people and the American economy. I would be remiss if I did not touch on the overlap between Ways and Means and the committee on which I sit, Energy and Commerce. There's a lot of health reform that our committees will work on together. In reconciliation, I look forward to partnering with my colleagues on this committee on an array of issues, from transparency, CMS payments, PBM reforms, all of which I think are very important pay-fors in the reconciliation process. And I appreciate the opportunity to testify here today. I hope to have Ways and Means consideration on these incredibly important issues as we proceed through reconciliation. With that, Mr. Chairman, thank you, and I yield back.
Thank you, Dr. Dunn. I now recognize Representative Julia Fedorchak, the gentlewoman from North Dakota. Prior to coming to Congress, Ms. Fedorchak spent over a decade in